decision. Everything.
And you're probably pretty reflective, and you solicit pretty much everyone's energy rather than opinion before figuring out.
Yeah, like I can feel it more than I can. I can feel it more than I can hear it. Before somebody says, yes, absolutely.
So I bet there's some people you've met that you probably cannot be around.
No, and not even just, I couldn't even, have a conversation with, or,
because that negativity, like I'm wondering if I have some of that, because there are those people, and Steve doesn't get it.
Well, if you take your Enneagram, depending on your number, I could tell you if it has anything to do with being a highly sensitive person.
I'm gonna do this. I've been thinking about it ever since you mentioned it.
I don't know what made me. I think what they said is that I'm a soft-hearted person, and I was born into an extremely destructive environment, and I was very helpless when I was younger, and I was alone, and I didn't have anybody to talk to or reach out to, so I kind of adapted to,
whatever was around you.
Yeah, and I really picked up. I could feel everything around me because of my atmosphere was so all over the place.
So this says that big decisions are mentally exhausting.
Absolutely. Small decisions are mentally exhausting.
So you just moved. That's huge.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to decide that?
The move? I've known I needed to move forever. Oh, okay. So it was just finding the right place to move. Finding the right place took 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
We renewed our lease twice and didn't want to because we couldn't find the right place.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Wow. You agonize about decisions long after we make them. I can say I've done that before. I think my hardest thing to do is changing jobs. Like at my last job, I knew I had hit that wall where, hey, not happy, not doing good, not progressing. It probably took me 2 years after that to be like, I'm going to start applying.
Yeah.
Because those are huge life changes.
They are, yeah.
In the big scheme, when you have a job that has benefits.
Well, it's funny because I'm an entrepreneur, and that makes no sense at all. And my therapist told me that many times. She's like, what you do really affects you a lot. She's like, in a negative way. And I'm like, well, no, that's why I do these things. And I do a lot for my mental health. I do a lot to keep track of that and to keep track of myself and not get lost in other people.
I don't think I could. I've talked to you about it. I've talked to Petra, one of my other co-hosts, about it, and she just left a job she'd been at for years.
Yeah.
To do something with her husband, their own company, and I'm like,
scared.
Oh my God,
yeah,
I can't do it. Steve,
the
boyfriend,
all over the place, traveling,
if he doesn't get a job,
over. And it's always from job to job to job kind of a thing. I mean, you kind of have like me with market, you kind of know, but.
Kinda, yeah. What if one time they're like, "Oh, we're canceling this," or your booth space isn't there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So you're so much stronger than me.
No, I don't. It's not that.
I think in those aspects, like, I'm just scared. I'm like, I like the corporate environment because there's structure that I can.
But see, that's the thing is I never came from a foundation or a structure. Mm-hmm. So since I never had that in my life, I was never scared to not have that. So I was always willing to take risks because my whole life was a giant risk. Like I never had a. So that I feel like that was the only reason why I've ever been able to take so many giant risks to do what I'm doing.
Do you ever step back and go, what
all the time? Like on a daily basis, I'm like, don't step back. Be in the moment. Be in the moment. Because if you step back, too many what ifs and,
Do you do pros and cons?
Oh, yeah.
Lists?
Yeah. I have so many lists. Yeah. I write a lot of things down.
And are you really proud of yourself when you efficiently make a decision?
Yeah.
Like, hey,
and like it feels good. Like it feels it feels
yes.
good in the core decision.
It took me a long time to buy the car I have now because I did my research and this was going to be my first new car all by myself. Steve was in Las Vegas and I went to the car dealership and I'm like, I want to test drive this car. I want this car. Okay, go. I remember driving away going, oh my God, this is my first big adult decision.
Yeah.
Woo! And it was just like, woo! I was calling everyone on my new Bluetooth. I'm like, hey, my new car. And nobody does that.
People do that.
They'll call their mom or their dad. I was like calling my best friend, hey, what are you doing? Guess what? I got a new car.
You want to come by? I'll show you my new car.
So, yeah, I celebrate those things. You do too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Small compliments.
I didn't realize we would be that much alike when it came to this.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is, yeah.
Because you are so independent in your lovely vintage. Mm-hmm. All right, I found this other article, Etiquette Rules That We're Probably Breaking. Did you read this?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
So, do you know which hand you should wave with?
The right.
Why?
Was I right? Was I correct, I mean?
So, your right hand is your social hand, and it should be available for shaking hands, waving, and blowing kisses.
Because I remember Princess Diana waving. Yeah. That's the only reason why I said that is because I remember her cupping and just waving.
And if you were to cough?
No, left, because you
left
shake with your right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know
It took me a minute. But no, I do the elbow.
And Steve will cough in his hand. I'm like,
ooh. So if I'm like in the produce section of the grocery store and I have to sneeze or cough, I'll get out of there and come back. It's yeah, and then I feel like everybody's gonna be like, Did you just cough on our vegetables?
Yes. That's awesome. Did you know that you need to wear your handbag on your right shoulder and sling it over the back? Do you sling it over the back of a chair? Where's your handbag?
It's right on the floor here.
There we go. Okay.
Picking up all the...
So to keep your social hand free for greeting, it's best to keep your handbag or cocktail in your left hand. So...
Handbag on my left.
It should be on the left shoulder. You shouldn't be putting it on the right.
I always put it on my right.
Me too. I actually have, if I'm out and about, I'll have like a crossbody and it's always on the right.
Okay.
So you got to keep everything in your left hand. You don't have to take the time to switch it over to the other arm when you're reaching out to shake someone's hand.
Yeah.
And I've been in that situation.
Yeah. And then you got to wipe your hand full of the condensation.
That's elbow bump. Don't call it a purse. You should know this.
It's not a purse.
It's a clutch, it's a tote, it's a satchel. That costs less than $100. A purse is something that is relatively inexpensive. A handbag is more expensive. I bet you knew that. I bet. Let's go to lovelyvintage.com.
I can't believe that. I don't know.
So
wait, you said a purse?
A purse is a clutch, tote, or satchel, which costs less than $100.
Oh, okay, yes, okay. And then a handbag is something that costs more than $100. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought
I heard you. No, I thought I heard you wrong.
Okay.
So no, that makes sense. I thought you said a purse isn't that, and I was like, I thought a purse is definitely a clutch, a satchel, or a hand.
Purse is cheap.
Yes.
Purse is cheap. Yes.
Okay.
And a handbag is more expensive.
But why?
I don't know.
These are just what people came up with.
Yeah, Neiman Marcus came up with it.
Oh, they did?
I bet they did. Or Michael Kors. He came up with it.
Yeah.
Did you know you could sit wrong?
Yes, I'm sitting wrong right now.
I probably am too. So,
I'm sure.
To avoid collisions at the dinner table, always approach your chair from the left-hand side and exit on the right.
Oh.
If you need to use the restroom during the meal, never announce your intentions to the group. I'm always like, I gotta tinkle.
Yeah.
And just say, excuse me, and step away. See, I feel like if you don't announce, like, people are like, what?
Yeah, what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is she sick?
You said get in through the left and exit through the right.
Yes.
I'm always awkward when I'm getting in and out of booths. Or in and out of space. It's just like, I always feel like, so I'm going to do that next time to see if I feel weird.
Left and right.
And right.
So it's like everyone should get into the left so you don't run into people.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if everybody's on the same page. If everybody is on the same page.
So you should educate them.
Yes.
So you're sitting at a table and be like, you got out wrong.
Yes. So
you gotta get out to the right. Can you imagine if someone would look at you like,
yeah.
What?
You're bumping me. You're not supposed to be exiting this way.
Some of these etiquette rules, did you? I remember reading an etiquette book when I was a little girl, and I was just like, this is so how I should be, and I forgot it all.
How funny. I was never taught etiquette. Nothing.
I think I checked it out at the library one week at the library hour.
I think we should put kids through that class, that etiquette
They used
course.
to.
I don't know why they don't.
I remember in college, because I went to a Christian college, where we had to go through etiquette class. They set us down into a formal meal.
Yeah,
and stuff
I would
like
know
that.
what fork to use. Or...
Yeah, it's all about from the inside out or out. It's been a while. Yeah. You can pass the salt and pepper wrong if they're not together. You have to pass them together. You can't just pass the salt or the pepper. It's a duo.
It's a duo. You don't get one without the other. I don't care if you don't want the pepper, take the pepper.
I don't put pepper on anything, but you got to pass it to me. These are silly. Do you think they're relevant to today's
Not today,
age?
no. Nobody cares anymore, sadly
There's not
enough.
even salt and pepper on most tables.
Exactly.
Like, you get the packets.
Exactly.
You can applaud incorrectly.
I don't think so. I think that just applauding in general is pretty
Yay!
nice.
Yeah,
That's just a nice thing
now.
to do.
So, study celebrities at any major award show. Not everyone is properly recognizing the winners. The correct way to applaud is just slightly to your left, about chest height. You never want to clap in front of your own face, and you sure don't want to clap in front of someone else's face.
So you want me to go like this?
Yes.
Oh, well, that was just marvelous. That was just marvelous. I always go like this, just the slow, hard clap.
Like,
boom! Boom! It doesn't...
Because it's loud and it shows how much you're
cup
into it.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. And don't even think about calling shotgun. Don't call the best seat in the car. Because the power seat in any limo is to the back and the right. That's the one you should leave for your boss. So the next time you ride in a limo with someone, you don't have a boss because you are your boss, give them the back left.
Do bosses pick you up in limos?
That happened to me once when I worked at a radio station in Missouri, and we won some award, and they got us a limo.
Wow.
And I don't remember. I remember going, "This is my first limo."
Yeah.
Yay!
Limo! That's not the life I'm living.
No.
But lucky if I get an Uber at this point.
So then after the boss, the next person in line gets to claim the seat to the left, while the junior person usually gets the middle.
Yeah.
So it's all about age, people.
Yeah.
The older
I was
people.
always stuck in the middle.
And you got to be careful when you're climbing into a vehicle. How do you climb into a vehicle, Tara?
Not gracefully. That's for sure.
I have a bruise right here from yesterday. Steve's truck bit me.
Oh.
I was getting in. I'm like, oh!
Yeah.
I am not graceful when it comes to anything,
person.
really.
No.
Getting into a truck. One time. It was my very first time on a boat on the lake. And they're like, get into the water so you can get on the tube. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the guys in the boat was like, that was graceful.
I've literally had almost that exact same scenario happen to me.
You just told me to get in the water. You didn't tell me to be a mermaid.
I did the same thing. I got out of a boat into the water, and it was a lot lower. It was a lot shallower than I thought.
Oh, no.
And I came out like a fucking sea monster. And then they were like, that was graceful. And I was just like, that's pretty much how I do everything.
Yes. So when sitting into a vehicle, first sit down, then swing your legs in. Don't go with your hip first. That hurts. And it's just classy.
It's just classy.
And it prevents any skirt-wearing ladies from accidentally showing their hoo-ha.
Yeah, which
like
I drive
Britney
a truck,
Spears.
so that's pretty likely to happen at some
Gotta
point.
be careful, because those paparazzi are following you,
Right?
Sarah.
No, I wear underwear and some shorts, so we're good.
Good.
Not gonna flash anybody, but it's good to know because I get in with my foot first,
and
that's
broke
probably
one
not
of
the
rules.
best way to go.
Yeah, don't do that, because that's
then
what
you're
I
just-
did yesterday. I went hip first, and I'm like, bam, ow.
Yeah.
But don't point at your friends either, which I
Is
do.
it rude?
Yes, pointing.
I've heard
That's
people
what-
say
we've
that.
Heard that.
People,
Don't
I mean,
point.
people have been like, "Don't point." Some people get really offended when you point.
You've got to gesture. That's what it says. Gesture. Be
With
sure
all
to
hands.
use an open hand.
All hands. Welcome.
You, sir.
Go that direction. What direction? Any direction. Pick a direction. I can't point.
Oh my goodness. And did you know you can use a revolving door improperly?
I've never done that gracefully either.
I know. That and escalators. I'm like, 1, 2, 3, go! Okay. And especially with a suitcase. And
Yeah,
an
there's no way
escalator.
to, yeah,
I'm like, get
no
the
easy way to
elevator.
do that either.
So, when you're faced with a revolving door, it's polite to enter first. You never want your client or date to have to push while you're behind them. So you have to go in first to do the manual labor. Because you know
push
the revolving door, you push.
You have to push, yeah.
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 It doesn't say anything about escalators. I have those are two things I have problems with, are escalators and revolving doors.
So these are for some high-end people. These are for some classy folks. Some revolving doors and clutches and handbags. Clutches, just handbags.
Yes.
Yes.
You only sell handbags on lowlovelyvintage.com.
That's $100.